The remarkable thing about Wrocław, well, which is actually true of many cities, you understand how to build a happy city. You've been doing it for hundreds of years. The problem, of course, is modernity. We forgot how to build wonderful places for about 50 years. And now we have to relearn this. So I am enchanted by the center of Wrocław. I think the way you are reconnecting with your river is heroic and poetic. And I think you have some developers here in the city who understand how to build new places that offer joy, pleasure, happiness, and social connection. A challenge I see in Wrocław and other Polish cities is that you have this lingering fear of other people, of your neighbors, of strangers even. And this fear leads to architectural responses like high walls and unnecessary fences. And these structures, they make your life worse. They make your neighborhoods harder to walk through. They mean that your children are less free. And they break down social relations at the neighborhood scale. In our research, we have found that you can actually have fairly dense places that make people feel like they have privacy and ease and space just by being a little more careful with your design, careful with your architecture. We can design places that acknowledge that the essential unit of human community after the family is a small cluster, maybe of 12 households. So if we use that as the building block for a building and a neighborhood, we can restructure places and create new places that nurture neighborliness, good relationships, but also feelings of belonging and the all-important privacy. As people move to modern cities, and as there is increasing demand for growth in cities like Wrocław, it's important to look to industrial lands instead of agricultural lands far away from the city. Use those industrial lands to offer mixed-use places, places for people to live. I think the Olympia port is actually a great example of a new mixed-use development that respects human scale. And it does it close enough to the city center that it will soon be accessible by tram. So this is the kind of development we want to see. All the evidence on happiness in cities is telling us that we have given too much space to cars. One of the problems is that cars were a new technology 100 years ago, and we never adapted our rules and our spatial systems to work with cars appropriately. So currently we're in a situation where people can use space on the street to put their car, to store a personal item for free without paying. This is ridiculous. We're also in a situation where cities are forcing new housing developments to build parking, even when the residents don't need it or want it. So Poland is moving into more of a market economy. It's strange to me that your government is forcing people to pay this extra expense of parking, because parking spaces are very expensive. Cities that are now taking on, in a sophisticated way, the issue of parking are doing something very simple. They are separating the cost of parking from the cost of housing. In other words, you can have parking, but you have to pay for it. It's an extra. If we start to value children, elders, and people in general, if we value people, and if we design for people instead of automobiles, we'll find we get cities that are happier, healthier, more social, and more resilient over the long run. Cities that work better for everyone.